In 2023 alone, piracy websites racked up more than 140 billion visits. That's more than double the traffic of Netflix, Disney+, and HBO Max combined. Think about that. At a time when streaming platforms are everywhere, people are still flocking back to piracy at staggering levels. But here's the twist. Piracy today doesn't look like the shady torrent sites you might remember. It's faster, cleaner, and in many ways, more convenient than the legal options. Want to watch the latest blockbuster? Instead of juggling 4 different subscriptions and paying extra for premium releases, one click on a piracy site gets you the entire catalog for free. In other words, piracy is leveled up, and millions of people see it as the smoother alternative. But here's the shocking part. Piracy never really died. It just went quiet. Until now. Today, it's exploding again because people are drowning in subscription fatigue, with shows and movies scattered across half a dozen platforms. Costs keep rising, with games launching at $70 and streaming services hiking prices every year. On top of that, regional restrictions block entire countries from accessing content legally. And that's where the bigger picture comes in. This surge isn't only about saving money. It's about frustration with how the system works. When people feel priced out, shut out, or endlessly nickel and dimed, piracy starts looking less like theft and more like the only way to get fair access. So the real question is this. Is the piracy comeback just about people avoiding subscription fees? Or is it a sign of something much bigger happening to entertainment itself? The answer might surprise you, because this isn't only about movies being stolen. Stick with me, because in this next few minutes, you'll see the ripple effects no one's talking about and why this piracy revival could end up rewriting the rules for all of us. The hidden cost of piracy today. Piracy isn't a relic of the past. It's alive, growing, and hitting harder than many realize. Once thought to be dying thanks to the rise of Netflix, Spotify, and other streaming giants, piracy has re-emerged with force, changing how content is consumed and how creators struggle to keep up. One, the industries are already hurting. The industries taking the biggest hits are the ones you'd expect: movies, music, video games, and books. Hollywood studios lose billions every year to illegal downloads and unauthorized streams. Musicians, especially smaller independent artists, find their work ripped and re-uploaded on shady sites before they can even earn a fraction of the royalties they deserve. The gaming section is equally vulnerable, with blockbuster titles being cracked and shared online within hours of launch. And for authors, entire libraries of ebooks are being pirated daily, stripping them of sales that often determine if they can afford to keep writing. 2. The ripple effects. But the problem doesn't end with creators losing money. The ripple effects hit jobs, innovation, and even consumers themselves. Less revenue for studios means fewer risks on original projects and more reliance on safe sequels and reboots. Rising piracy pushes companies to raise prices or stuff content behind paywalls, making legitimate access harder for honest users. Piracy also affects entire support industries that people rarely think about. Marketing agencies, distribution teams, set crews, and even small theaters all feel the impact when revenue disappears upstream. What seems like a faceless crime actually erodes the livelihoods of thousands working behind the scenes. On top of that, governments lose tax revenue from lost sales, further straining public budgets already stretched too thin. 3. Reality for users. And behind every pirated file, there's often something worse lurking. Malware hidden in downloads, phishing scams disguised as streaming links, and massive piracy risks for anyone handing over their details on illegal sites. See, that's the overlooked reality. Piracy isn't just about free stuff. It's a billion-dollar drain on creative industries, a threat to jobs, and a gamble for the very users chasing shortcuts. Far from harmless, it's a problem snowballing again. And this time, the stakes feel even higher. If piracy was supposed to die when streaming platforms exploded, why is it making such a dramatic comeback? The answer comes down to a mix of frustration, price, and technology that's outpacing control. Start with the obvious: subscription fatigue. In the early days of Netflix and Spotify, everything felt easy. You paid one fee and had access to almost everything. Today, the landscape is fractured. Want to watch one show? That might mean subscribing to Disney+, Netflix, Max, and Amazon Prime, sometimes all at once. That's not just inconvenient, it's expensive. For many people, it feels like the old cable model all over again, except worse. Then there's price. Games costing $70 at launch, movies locked behind premium rentals, or streaming subscriptions constantly creeping up in cost, it all adds fuel to the piracy fire. Add in regional restrictions, where entire countries can't access certain shows or albums legally, and piracy becomes the only option for millions who feel shut out of the system. Convenience is another major factor. Believe it or not, Piracy is often faster and easier than legitimate services. One download or click on a mirror site can unlock entire catalogs, no credit card required. Meanwhile, legal platforms shuffle content between regions, remove shows suddenly, or crash under demand. When piracy is smoother than the paid option, people take notice. And technology has only made things harder to stop. VPNs allow users to hide their locations. Mirror sites and encrypted file-sharing platforms pop up as fast as others get shut down. Social media itself has become a hub for leaks. Blockbuster films appearing online days after release, games cracked within hours of launch, and even live events clear as this. Piracy isn't thriving because people don't love entertainment. It's thriving because the current system feels broken. And until that changes, the demand for free access will keep pushing piracy to levels that could rival its early 2000s peak. Here's the twist that most people don't see coming. Online piracy isn't just lingering in the shadows. It's evolving into something bigger, smarter, and more dangerous than ever before. Forget the stereotype of a shady torrent site filled with broken links. Today, piracy is professionalized. Entire illegal platforms now mimic the experience of mainstream giants like Netflix, Spotify, or Steam, but without the price tag. These services offer vast libraries of movies, TV shows, music, and even live sports streams, available worldwide with just a few clicks. Some operate through IPTV boxes sold online, while others distribute content through Telegram groups or Discord servers with hundreds of thousands of members. The sheer scale is staggering. Recent studies suggest that millions of people are subscribed, yes, subscribed to these privacy services, often paying small amounts for all-access packages that beat legal subscriptions in both price and convenience. In some cases, these illegal platforms generate revenue rivaling mid-sized streaming companies, except none of it goes back to creators, artists, or developers. But beyond the numbers, here's the real dilemma. The ethics of piracy have blurred. Many consumers openly admit to pirating content, not because they want to steal, but because they feel forced into it. They argue that corporations have become too greedy, splitting shows across endless platforms, raising prices year after year, and locking entire regions out of access. From their perspective, privacy isn't theft, it's protest. It's a statement against a system that prioritizes profit over accessibility. And this leads us to the future implication that could shake the entire entertainment world. If piracy continues evolving at this pace, it might push streaming giants to change their business models drastically. They could be forced to lower subscription prices, unify services, or rethink regional restrictions just to survive. At the same time, smaller studios, indie developers, and new creators may not have the resources to endure the losses, which could mean fewer diverse stories, less creativity, and entire careers wiped out. In short, piracy's comeback isn't just about free movies or music. It's about a global standoff between consumers demanding fairness and industries fighting for survival. And that fight will define the future of entertainment as we know it. So, here's where we land. Online piracy is no longer just a relic of the early 2000s. It's back, it's growing, and it's changing the rules of the game. From overpriced subscriptions and limited access to the rise of piracy platforms that look and feel legitimate, consumers are voting with their clicks. The result? Industries are being forced to rethink how they deliver entertainment. Online piracy isn't just making a comeback, it's reshaping the very foundation of how we create, share, and experience content in the digital age. If what you've just learned shocked you, wait until you see the bigger picture. I've already put together another video where I break down the industries most at risk if piracy continues to grow. It's not just entertainment that's vulnerable. Many sections could be shaken in ways no one is prepared for. So don't stop here. Click over to that video right now, because the revelations waiting there will completely change how you see the future of digital content.